The New England Patriots were dominated by the Buffalo Bills in the wild card round of the NFL playoffs this past Saturday. This game was really ugly. It was 47-17, and there were a lot of people who were shocked at the outcome of this game. Me personally, I wasn't all that surprised. Like, I had the Bills winning by at least 10 points. Now, I didn't expect them to, destroy New England the way they did. But, going in, we knew that if the Patriots weren't able to have a good day on the ground and they got down early and they had to rely on Mac Jones to throw them back into the game, that they weren't really going to have that much of a shot. And that's pretty much what happened. So with the Bills beating the Patriots the way they did, the Bills had pretty much cemented themselves as the top dogs in the AFC East, at least for the foreseeable future. And I went on Twitter and Bill Belichick was trending. And there was a lot of interesting takes about the Patriots lost to the Bills. And there were a lot of people, surprisingly, who were saying that Bill Belichick has fallen out of touch with the current state of the NFL. Now, here's my rebuttal to that. I gotta disagree with that statement. There are a lot of people who keep saying that Bill Belichick is too old school. He needs to modernize his offense. He needs to change things. Like, he's still trying to win like he's playing in 2000. Like, people forget that last year, Bill Belichick had Cam Newton as his quarterback. And it was a really weird pairing because we were like, okay, Bill Belichick is normally used to having a prototypical drop back pocket passer. Cam Newton isn't really known as a prototypical drop back passer. He's more somebody who's good with his legs. He's really athletic. He's not really that accurate of a thrower, but he does have a really good arm. And the Patriots were able to win a couple of games with them. They designed a system that was built around Cam Newton. So the fact that Bill Belichick is, having people come out and say that he's falling out of touch with the game, I got to disagree with that because it wasn't too long ago like he just designed the offense, him and Josh McDaniels on the fly for Cam Newton, a guy who isn't really their traditional kind of quarterback. And Bill Belichick is really good at making adjustments. And Bill Belichick made several adjustments during this year. Like, before the Patriots went on their 7-game win streak, like, there were many people who counted them out. What were they? 2-4 at one point? So you look at the fact that they were able to go from struggling at the start of the season to becoming one of the hottest teams in the AFC. And although they did fizzle out during the month of November, some of that's just, having a young rookie quarterback. When you have a young rookie quarterback, you're going to have some ups, you're going to have some highs, and you're going to have some lows. Mac Jones had his highs in the middle of the season, and unfortunately, his low point of his rookie year came during the recent stretch, December, going into the playoffs, and he wasn't really that great, and his team started to kind of get figured out a little bit. The defense is getting up there in age. There are a lot of changes, at least from a personnel standpoint, that kind of has to be made with New England. And you look at linebacker definitely has to be addressed. Like, Bill Belichick is somebody who loves having vets on his team. He's not really somebody who's a big fan of starting a lot of young rookies or young players. Like, he wants veterans. He wants people who have a high IQ of the game. He wants people who understand, who can process what's going on in front of them. So I look at Bill Belichick. I don't really think he's fallen out of touch with the current state of the league. Like, he got his quarterback of the future. Mac Jones looks to be really good. He looks to be the guy. Okay, like, the wide receiver position needs to be, a little bit improved. Maybe you try to trade for Calvin Ridley or somebody like that. But I don't think Bill Belichick has falling out of touch with the current state of the league, because he has proven time in and time out that he's able to make adjustments. Like, the Patriots only won 7 games previously. And I came out and said that they were not only going to make it to the playoffs, but they were going to compete for the division. And there were many people who had the Dolphins over New England. Like, there were many people who had New England not even making it to the playoffs this season. They said rookie quarterback, like Bill Belichick, is he going to be able to figure things out? And he was able to. Like, you have to give Bill Belichick a lot of props for the job that he did this year, because this Patriots team probably still wouldn't even be a playoff team without him being on the, sidelines. Now, there are some people out there who said that Josh McDaniels needs to leave, Bill Belichick needs to fire his son, which his son is his defensive coordinator. Now, I wouldn't make any of my children like somebody who would work under me, because I wouldn't be wanting to be put in a situation where I might have to fire one of my own kids. Like, that's tough. Like, who wants to fire one of their own children? Like, no. But I don't think that really any staff changes need to be made. Like, Josh McDaniels is going to be the head coach in waiting. It looks to be like whenever Bill Belichick decides to retire. So he's not going anywhere. Then you have his son, which the defense wasn't really all that bad this year. Like, yeah, it could have been better at certain points, but really I feel like the defense just needs to upgrade more when it comes to the talent standpoint. Same thing with the offense. And with the offense, you got to remember that as long as Mac Jones continues to improve and Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels continue to take time to develop Mac Jones, this offense is going to get better with Mac Jones getting better. Because with Mac Jones playing better, he's going to read the field better. He's going to make less mistakes. He's going to be a little bit more aware of what to expect from defenses now going into his second season in 2022. So with him improving, the offense is going to improve also. And that's going to improve Bill Belichick's confidence and trust in Mac Jones, because there was another scrutiny that Bill Belichick had by a lot of people in the media. And that's the fact that people said that he didn't trust Mac Jones. Well, duh, he's a rookie quarterback, and I see why he didn't trust Mac Jones. Did you see that playoff game? Like, Bill Belichick went into that playoff game against Buffalo, and he pretty much understood what New England had to do. He knew that if New England got down by multiple possessions at any point during that game, it was wraps. Because then you can't use the run game. Then you have to rely on Mac Jones to throw the football, especially going on the road in Buffalo as your first ever playoff game as a rookie. That's tough. And Bills Mafia is one of the more underrated fan bases in the league. So that's not a tough place to win by any stretch. So, of course, Mac Jones was going to struggle. On top of that, he was playing against one of, if not the best defense in the league. Statistically, the Bills have the number one defense in the NFL. So, of course, he was going to struggle. But I don't think that Bill Belichick has fallen out of touch with the current state of the NFL, because for somebody to fall out of touch with something, that means that they just lost all sense of direction. They don't really know what they're doing. Bill Belichick definitely knows what he's doing, okay? Like, he is the king of making adjustments. He has made several adjustments throughout the season. So if you have a coach that's making adjustments, I don't think that's falling out of touch. Sometimes you just have coaches who have a philosophy, and they like to stick towards what works. And there's nothing with Bill Belichick's philosophy that shows me that it's not working, because they made it to the playoffs. Now, if they didn't make it to the playoffs, then I would, second guess and say, okay, maybe he needs to make some changes. But really what a lot of people are saying when they say Bill Belichick has fallen out of touch with the current state of the league is that he doesn't have this dynamic, crazy offense like a Buffalo or Kansas City. It's not flashy. He wants to run the football with his two big backs and Damian Harris and Rahamdre Stevenson. But regardless of how much Mac Jones improves, that's still going to be the staple of New England's offense in 2022, which is going to be running the football, only throwing the football when need be. So I don't think that the NFL has passed Bill Belichick by. I don't think he's walking out there like a clueless duck or anything like that. Like, he knows what he's doing. And as fans, we have to stop second guessing coaches, okay? Like, there's a reason why Bill Belichick is the greatest head coach of all time. You want to know why? Because he's able to make adjustments. The GOATs in this game, the GOATs in life, are able to make adjustments. They're able to adapt. To survive in this world, you have to be able to make changes. Whether that be changes to your lifestyle, relationships, you got to be changed. You got to be able to be punctual. So for Bill Belichick, I think he's more than capable of being able to still have success in this league. For people to say that, the league is passing him by, like, that kind of, surprises me. I was like, what? You think that the league is passing Bill Belichick by? Huh? What? You talking about the guy who designed the offense on the fly for Cam Newton and was still able to win like 7 games with him? You talking about the guy who was able to win with a rookie quarterback? The only rookie quarterback, as a matter of fact, to start in a playoff game this season. And people are talking about has the game passed him by? You made it to the playoffs with Mac Jones, a rookie quarterback. Like, dude, we should be celebrating the Patriots season. You get what I'm saying? But I understand why Patriots fans ask that question. Because the expectation in New England is championships. And, you would like to have a flashy offense like a Kansas City or Buffalo or whatnot. It doesn't look encouraging when you see Buffalo putting up all these points on you. But at the end of the day, never count out Bill Belichick. Never count out people who are really good at making adjustments. Because Bill Belichick is going to make adjustments in the offseason, and this Patriots team is going to be right back in the mix of things in 2022. So, you guys let me know what you guys think about this topic down in the comment section down below. Do you guys believe that Bill Belichick has fallen out of touch with the current state of the NFL? Make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and college football videos. And I appreciate you guys for listening to this episode of the JT Sports Podcast. Make sure that you check out the JT Sports Podcast. Every video that is uploaded on the channel is available in audio format on every single podcasting platform. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts from, the JT Sports Podcast is available. All you got to do is go to whichever podcasting service that you use, type in the JT Sports Podcast, and it should pop up. Or you can go down to the description, scroll a little bit, and it should have my Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcast links, and you guys can go ahead and check it out there. I will see you guys with another episode of the JT Sports Podcast.